Said times in his rhymes cause his memories. We running through New York so you never leave. Strap my lungs then we puffin' through with that right. We're giving them some stories, they come back like manic this, manic that, while you crawling to me.
Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over, is the BMW E60 the right car for you? This is something I get asked a lot of the time, and I'm always asked, should I go for a 520D? Should I go for a 530D? Should I go for a 535D? Should I go for a 530i? You know, is a BMW right for them? And I keep saying they're reliable, but I've had to change all the parts. So I'm going to go over if this car is actually right for you. Okay guys, here we have the BMW E60. Now, this is something I get asked nearly every day in my comments on the why you should buy a used BMW E60. I get asked daily if their BMW is the right car for them. Now, this is all a matter of you. And the reason I say about you is because it depends on what you want. It depends on how much you have in the bank. It depends on how willing you are to learn. It depends on how much you're willing to invest. It depends on a lot of things, and this is what I tell a lot of people. It all goes based on you. This is not something I can tell you to go out and buy. This is all down to you. Do you want a BM? Are you passionate about a BM? You have to be passionate to want these cars. If you have got no passion and you don't want a car that you have to deal with and babyfy, then this is not the right car for you. I've said it many times, these cars are reliable. Yes, and I mean this only when you replace all the parts. If you're planning to go and buy a car, you cannot just expect to drive it and expect it to be reliable. And I've said this many, many times, and people always say to me, oh, how can a car be reliable if you have to replace so many parts? Well, unfortunately, that's with any car. It's not just with a BM, that's with any car. You can't expect to go and buy a car and drive it. Most people, when they are selling a car, they're selling it because it needs all these things overhauled. Do you think people are gonna sell a fully working car of all new parts that they've just fitted? No. People make sure they get their money out of that before they then resell it, so the new owner has to deal with it. They're not just gonna sell you a good, fully working car. Every car needs overhauling. Just this is BMW. These cars are a lot easier to work on than your average, let's pull it, I don't know, Volkswagen, let's put it that way. BMW is very, very easy, and you know, people get very scared because they think it's a luxury car. It's going to cost them a lot of money, but some of them do, some of them don't. The M52 is known, because electric water pump and the Vanos solenoids, to be expensive. But on the same hand, you're going to get a cracker of a car once it's fully done, and once you fully achieve your goals with this car. Everyone always asks me, should I go for a 520 diesel? It's going to be more reliable. No, it ain't. You're still going to be plagued in timing chain issues. You're still going to be plagued in a lot of issues with the 520 diesel. You know, every one of these BMs come with their issues. It's about if you have got the time and the dedication to put in to sort them issues on this car, like I did with this one. And now this one is hardly driven, but like I say, it's been a faultless car, and I haven't been able to fault it. It's a perfect car, and I love everything it does. I love the way it moves still. I can go in it any day and I know it's going to drive perfectly because I've done everything to it. And like I said, if you are planning to buy one of these, you have to understand none of them are going to be reliable unless you put in the time and effort to make this car reliable. They're very, very beautiful cars. This E60 is a timeless classic by Chris Bangles, and like I say, I love the body and the styling of the E60. You guys know this is what this channel's all about, is the E60, and you guys know I love this car with a passion. I've never loved a 5 Series as much as I love the E60 brand, and like I said, there was the E39. A lot of people hate me on this, saying, but I don't like the E39. I had it, many of you guys already know that. I prefer the E60. You know, this is the car for me, and like I say, this is a timeless classic and a timeless design for me anyway. Even if BMW don't want to see it as a classic, for me it's a classic, and it's a beautiful, beautiful design, and I love the face, I love the way it looks. Many people are scared out to go and buy these, but that's because they're on a budget. You see them cheap, yes, they're cheap for a reason. They're gonna need overhauling, but are they worth going to grab because they're cheap? Of course they are. Go and grab it, wait until you've got the money, and then repair it up, because this car will make a perfect car once you've sorted out all the problems. And you've got to think what you're getting money wise. You ain't gonna get another car with this much tech for that little money in this day and age. It's just fully not available anywhere. There's cars out there with all this tech that cost 10 times the amount of this car, you know, and some cars don't even have the technology this one has got in it today. Some of them don't have no technology at all. You know, you could go out and buy a new Kia or a new Hyundai or a new Daewoo, and you might not have any of this stuff inside it yet. That's because they don't care. Fair enough, you're getting a new car, and that's what a lot of people are looking at. The age of the car, how much they're paying for it compared to what they can buy. But then you've got to remember, it is not a German built engineered car. it's not going to be reliable. It's going to break more than this. Once these are fixed, these are super reliable, but you just have to beware. You may find a car that might not need nothing, but you then have to be aware that you might find a car that needs everything. And that's just the way some of the time it is, because most people don't get rid of good cars. And that's the way, not just for BMW, for any brand you go and buy. It will be for any car that you'll need is not going to be reliable, and you just have to be aware of that. That you may come across one that has been very well looked after. I mean, here in the UK, you come across some that people are a bit like me, OCD, and will put a lot of money into their car. And that's, sometimes it is like that, sometimes it's not. But it's something you have to be prepared for. So therefore, my take on it is, you should go and buy one of these, but you have to go by based on your budget. So if you can only afford a 520D, do not stretch out for a 530D and then get rid of it because you can't afford it, because this is what a lot of people do. They go and buy the car, realize they can't afford the running costs, and then get rid of it. Or then something breaks, they realize the true value of how much it's going to cost, or then they rely on garages, and that's why they say it's not cheap as well. That's another thing. A lot of people buy these and then expect a garage to do it, and then the garage tells them £3,000–4,000, and then on top of £3 grand to pay for the car isn't worth it. They're only worth it if you're going to do the work yourself. Do not think you're going to buy one of these and have your indie or your mechanic look after it for you, because you're going to spend all that money and you're basically burning money, because you're never going to get that money back. Never going to get that money back, even if you come to sell it. So there's no point paying an indie to do all your repairs on the car. It's only worth it if you're planning to buy this car yourself and do all the work and maintenance yourself when you first buy it, and you have extra money in the kitty. If you want to be able to overhaul the car, my best advice to you is buy this car as cheap as possible from the person you're buying it from, to have money left over, because to be ready to overhaul it, because things will fail and things are gonna fail. And if they do let it go cheap, even they know parts are gonna fail on it, and take my word on that. Okay guys, so there you have it. I've just gone over if you should buy a BMW E60. Now, as I said, this is something I'm asked on the comments all the time. Literally every day I see a comment, people asking, should they buy one? Should they buy a 550i? They've just seen one. They want to send me the ad. They want to send me this. And it's purely because a lot of them want to be able to buy these cars. They go and look at them, but then they get scared of it. And I get that. I get that. It's a BMW. Then they read up online. Everyone gives them the scared stories of what happened to theirs. So people get scared out of buying them. And I fully understand that. So that's why I'm doing this video, to let you guys know it's all a matter about you. It's all you. It's nothing to do with the car. It's all about you. If you're passionate enough about BMW, if you're not, leave them alone, because they don't deserve to go to someone else and get mistreated when it could go into the right hands. There's enough of them on the roads that's doing that, going into being completely neglected, that they will end up in scrap yards because of people who are goating them and then getting annoyed with them, can't bother to put the money in, or they go broke. And with the way things are at the moment, a lot of people don't have the money to invest into these cars, so that's what's going to end up happening. A lot of these are just going to be left neglected at the side of the road and taken for scrap. So I hope this has cleared a lot of things up for a lot of you guys that are looking if you should buy one. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my membership as well, please go ahead and subscribe to my membership on the expert package, as you'll see a load of videos there as well. We've already got a whole playlist full of member videos, as well as all the software if you need it. Thank you very much for watching. This BMW Dr. Dean here, and goodbye.